Welcome back, 15 after the hour. Time for us to go behind the headlines. And I got this article that was written by Robert L. DuPont. And he's one of the principals in the firm Benzinger, DuPont, and Associates, which just happens to be a major purveyor of drug testing management in America. And he wrote this article in regard to the Boston Marathon bombings that took place, this tragic and heinous terrorist act, this awful crime that killed and maimed Americans, and was seemingly conducted by these two brothers, the Tsarnaev brothers, the older brother, and then the younger brother, Jahar, who was a college student at the time. And the reason for the terror, the reason for the attack, according to Robert DuPont, is that marijuana turned that bright young student into a terrorist. Let me just read you from his article word for word. Quote, "One of the most striking and consistent observations about Jahar, as he was commonly known to his friends, was that he was a normal college kid. Evidence of his normality was his heavy marijuana use as a party boy. Less recognized among his friends was the academic trajectory of Jahar in college, including receiving failing grades over 3 consecutive semesters. While Jahar's marijuana use did not directly make him a terrorist, it closed the door to his dreams of being an engineer or physician, and it opened the door to his suicidal violence." Yeah, marijuana killed his dreams and made it possible for him to become a terrorist. Okay. As he goes on in this article, DuPont laments the endemic use of marijuana in America's colleges and the inflated rates of dropout in America's high schools. So you know me, I thought it might be fun to look those figures up and do a little compare and contrast. Now, I picked 6 different data points, each 6 years apart: 1979, 85, 91, 97, and 2003 and 2009. We looked up the high school dropout rate, the black high school dropout rate, and the college graduation rates from the U.S. Department of Education. Then I compared and contrasted those with the monthly marijuana use rates of 12 to 17-year-olds and 18 to 25-year-olds from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. Now, the high school dropout data only go back to 1990, but I can tell you in 1979, 16.8% of teenagers, 12 to 17, were smoking pot every month, and 35.3% of 18 to 25-year-olds, college-age kids. By 1985, the teenage rate had dropped to 11.9%, and the college-age rate dropped to 21.9%, and by the time we hit 1991, only 4.3% of teenagers and 13% of college-age kids are smoking marijuana. The dropout rates in those years were 12.1% for high school kids and 13.2% for black high school kids. Now, as we jump ahead 6 years to 1997, the monthly marijuana use doubles by high school kids. It goes from 4.3 to 9.4. Among the college kids, it drops slightly from 13% to 12.8, but let's just say it stayed the same, pretty close, right? So doubled among teenagers, stayed about the same among college kids. What happened to the high school dropout rate? It dropped, or basically stayed the same. 11.8% in 1997, 13.8% for the black kids, went up slightly. Then in 2003, the monthly marijuana use rate among teens drops to 8%, but that's still twice as much as it was in 1991, and rises to 17.2% for the 18 to 25-year-olds, and the high school dropout rate drops to 9.9, 10.9 among the black kids. So twice as much monthly marijuana use among teenagers, 3 percentage points lower in the dropout rate. And then by 2009, we've got 7.2%. Now, that means the teenage rate's been dropping from 9.4 to 8.0, now down to 7.2. The monthly marijuana use rate has dropped, and so has high school dropout rate down to 8.1. The monthly college use rate has gone up to 18.6 by 2009. Now, let's look at the college graduation rates, because remember, smoking the marijuana is going to kill your dreams of being an engineer or a physician. So when we look at those college graduation rates, we find that in 96, they were 33.7%. And then in 2003, after the college age use went up by 5 points, the college graduation rates went up by 3 points. So can you guess what DuPont's solution is for this? He asks, what if Jahar had been required to take drug tests to obtain and maintain a driver's license? Might that have changed his behavior? Of course! When you run one of the country's largest drug testing firms, the answer to any problem is drug test them.